So obviously like Philly is like really rich in music and culture and stuff. Like how is it navigating being an artist in such a rich like community of music?
For me, it's not hard because like I feel like my music stands out. I feel like a lot of the music right now coming out of Philly is like drill music, and that's never really been the type of music that resonated with me. So I always been kind of different on that. So I don't. I feel like it really hasn't been hard navigating that really because I just come with a different sound. So when you're in your own lane, it's kind of a lot. You stick out a lot easier than other people who may be doing like the same type of music.
Welcome to an all new episode of The Introduction. I'm your host, Tarrah Habibi, and I'm here today with rising Philly artist Hahm. How you doing today, Hahm?
Doing good. How you doing today?
I'm good, I'm good. So this episode is all about our viewers getting to know you as an artist. Why are you here today? What like made you come like become an artist? So I want to start by asking you, how would you describe your music to someone that's never heard it?
To somebody who's never heard my music, I would describe it as like, a melodic type sound, like a trap rock type of vibe, you know what I mean? But yeah, pretty much like melodic if anybody likes that melodic type vibe, I definitely got that for 'em.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any
Mm.
like music inspirations that you feel like inspire your music? Any art?
Um, Honestly, I really haven't had an artist that really inspired me musically. But if I had to choose one, I would say Drake, especially like, when he first started singing like in his early days. I would say definitely Drake if it had to be anybody, but yeah, so
Yeah, I'm from Toronto, so Drake's
oh shit,
yeah, for Drake's
yeah.
sake. Yeah, so how did you get your start in music? Like what was your like when did you decide you wanted to be in music? Like early childhood? Like let's talk about that.
So I've been doing music for a long time. I actually been writing music probably since I was about 14, but I really didn't work up the courage to put out my music until recently, which was probably about like a year ago. And it's not that I was like really scared to really put up my music. It's just that, it was a lot of other things going on in my life, and I really wasn't putting all of my efforts towards that.
Hmm.
And, so that's really why I haven't done it up until recently. And it's crazy because I have a homie who I actually just did a song with. My most recent song that came out last night that I did a video for last month. He actually inspired me to get back into music because he was in a slump just like me or how I was a couple years ago.
Hmm.
So, he was just he got back on the horse, and he kept moving. Next thing you know, his followers went up, and he's making all these moves and stuff, and that inspired me, lit my flame back up, and then, here I am.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you were 14, like what made you start writing music? Like who were your favorite artists back in the day?
Back in the day, I probably was like around that time. It probably was like I would say like Tupac and fucking who else was I really listening to? I would say like Drake, who else? Lil Wayne. I had like a wide variety of different artists that I listened to. So it really wasn't anybody that I didn't listen to. I like rock music, and so I had like a wide range of music that I listened to.
Yeah, was there
So,
any like
yeah.
family member that like put you on to like your wide variety, any friends or anything?
Yeah, it's crazy. I had a cousin who actually started rapping when he was about 14. Around this time, I probably had to been about 6. And then he was rapping, and that actually introduced me into music from him doing that. So that was like my first introduction from a family member, with music. Yeah, that's crazy that you asked me that. That brought back the memory for me.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel like a lot of people in music, like you have your first little start with like a family member, like the intro.
Yeah.
I think that's very common with a lot of artists.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how has it been like navigating as like an independent artist?
It's been cool, honestly. Of course, as an independent artist, you have to be on top of everything, so it can definitely get overwhelming, especially when you're dealing with like the music video budget or a budget for going to the studio or a budget for taking pictures and this and that. So it can get a little overwhelming at times, but it's fun definitely going through the journey, I would say. So
Yeah.
yes, it's definitely a cool process navigating it, I would say.
Yeah, so where do you see like your career going? Like, do you have any goals, any things like you really want to accomplish?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to, take it as far as I can. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I never really took that leap of faith to actually put my music out and be consistent with it. So I just want to take it as far as I can take it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And has there been like any hardships like as an artist, as an independent artist? Have you faced like anything that's like been really hard ever since you started music?
Uh I wouldn't really say anything has really been hard. I would say it's just, as hard as you make it. You know what I mean? It's not like you can make it a hard process or you can make it an easy process. And, if you enjoy doing what you're doing, even if it is something that's hard, it makes it seem a little bit easier. It's kind of hard to explain that. But when you
Yeah,
love doing what you're doing, it just makes the hard shit seem easy.
yeah, no, no, no.
So yeah, I haven't really had too many like things that I would say would be hardships so far.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would say that I would say I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
no,
I
no, you're
would
good.
say definitely, of course, getting the music out to a broader audience. I would say, but that's like a lot of artists, independent artists, starting off and shit like that. That's like the main thing is getting your music out to like a broader audience. But yeah, other than that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So obviously, like Philly is like really rich in music and culture and stuff. Like, how is it navigating being an artist in such a rich like community of music?
For me, it's not hard because like I feel like my music stands out. I feel like a lot of the music right now coming out of Philly is like drill music, and that's never really been the type of music that resonated with me. So I always been kind of different on that. So I don't. I feel like it really hasn't been hard navigating that really because I just come with a different sound. So when you're in your own lane, it's kind of a lot. You stick out a lot easier than other people who may be doing like the same type of music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you worked with PNB Rock, right?
Yeah, I actually did have a chance to work with Rock. I knew Rock for some years now. He actually used to come to my aunt's store a lot. My aunt owned a clothing line in Philly. It was called Belargo.
Mhm.
She still actually has a clothing line, but it was really big around like 2013, 2014, 15, 16. So I got cool with Rock probably around like 20, I would say like 2014. And then
Okay.
I actually had the opportunity to manage his merch on tour. So
Ooh, that's
I
cool.
went on tour with him, and yeah, we had a lot of fun though. Yeah, Rock definitely was my man. Rest
Yeah,
in peace,
yeah,
Rock. Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And how was like working with him and stuff?
It was cool. I mean, Rock is he was always down to earth. Like even when I first met him, when it wasn't on no like business type time, he was just always cool. Like every time we would see each other, we would dap each other up and say what's up, and he was just always cool. Like and especially even on a business aspect, like if I had to recommend him something like yo, bro, you should maybe lower the price on one shirt, or you should maybe try to change design on one shirt because the people, what I mean, like he was really open to a lot of
Yeah,
different
down
things.
to
So he
earth.
was yeah, he
Yeah,
was down to earth. He was a
yeah,
cool
that's
guy, yeah,
great.
for sure.
And yeah, did you ever like get to like work with music with him or anything, or like show him any of your music or stuff?
Yeah, so I actually did do that when we were on the bus. I showed him a few songs, but we never really got a chance to work on anything musically, and primarily because at that time I wasn't putting out my own music. You know what I mean? So it
Time.
wasn't really the right time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm sure that now, that I'm actually in music, I definitely at some point will have an opportunity, to do music with him. But things
yeah,
happen, and
yeah, yeah.
it's
How
like.
did like death affect you? Like, did it affect like your music at all, or like how you like you're like time's short. I want to get into music more. Like, how did it
mm.
affect you?
Uh, I mean, I definitely was sad about this situation. If anything, it just made me want to just go harder with music because it's like, you never know when your last days are. So it's just like you want to, just do what you want to do and just put the shit out. And as I always say, you want to jump out the plane first and pull the parachute last. So,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah. And are there any other forms of creation, like acting or producing, like music, or anything like that, that you would like maybe get into in the future?
yeah, I definitely like. I actually used to make beats. Believe it or not, probably this is probably about like 7 or 8 years ago. I used to make beats, so I actually enjoy doing that as well, like playing the piano and doing different things of that nature. So I definitely would get into that outside of the artist aspect of it.
Do you play any other instruments other than the piano?
Um, no, I mean I tried. I play with the guitar a little bit, but I'm not really too good at that. But I definitely could play the piano a little bit
Yeah,
though.
that's cool. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then your music videos really caught my eye. Like the production of them are really cool. Is that your vision or did you hire someone and like that was their vision? Like talk about that.
Yeah, so that's actually all my music videos are my vision. I just come up with it.
I
Yeah, I
love.
just come up with the shit. So basically what I do is so in the beginning of all my videos, except for the last one, but in the beginning of the other three that I
Hmm.
have it coming through something. So the first one I had coming through a window.
Hmm.
The second one I had coming through, I believe, a circle, and the third one I had coming through a TV screen. But
Hmm.
I wanted it to be like that because I wanted it to be like you're coming into my world. And then at the end of the video, it comes out of the same window or the same TV or same circle to show like, okay, you came into my world and now, I'm releasing you from my world. So that was kind of like my whole
No, I love.
mindset behind that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what's your perspective on like the music industry and stuff?
Uh, I don't really know. I mean, the music industry is cool. I definitely would stay independent for, as long as I can, unless somebody comes with something, with like an offer I can't refuse.
Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, it has to make sense. But I would rather stay independent, at this point because I know it gets tricky with the music industry.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. And then can we expect any new music from you? Like what's next to expect? Tell us.
Yeah, so I'm actually dropping some new music in the next coming weeks. I was gonna drop a tape.
Hmm.
But I was having a talk with one of my friends, and he was telling me like right now it's probably better just to drop singles and then drop a tape later on because I did just drop a tape, not even I think a year ago. So I'm going to drop singles and I'm going to drop a tape, probably around like 2025, like mid 2025 or something like that. So as of next, I'll do like a two-piece thing. So I'll just drop two songs within each other.
Hmm.
I guess you can call it an EP. It would just be two songs, but yeah, I'm gonna drop those within these next upcoming weeks for sure.
And yeah, basically that concludes the interview. Do you tell the viewers where they can find you, your socials and all that?
All right, so my Instagram is underscore underscore HAHM underscore underscore. My Facebook is the same thing. I don't really have a Twitter or anything like that, so you can find me on those.
Yeah, yeah. And your YouTube, Spotify, all the same?
Yeah, yeah, my YouTube, Spotify, all the same, HAHM in capital letters.
Yeah, cool. That concludes of this episode of Introduction. For more, subscribe.